Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Yoga Sciences podcast. I'm your host, Pan. Today, I have Francisca Hoces here today. She is a certified yoga instructor, and she also works with a facility with addiction, like a government agency place. So, thank you and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pan, for having me here. I will do my best to answer with as much sincerity as I can about the work that I do and the people I work with. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. So, let's start with how you started your yoga journey.
Okay, a YouTube account that I started following for free yoga, Maloa Elena, which is huge here in South America because she lives in Chile, I think, and she's Russian. And I started following her, doing some of the yoga routines, starting from 30 to 40 minutes. And then I started working with yoga with my students, with the people that have addictions. So I started to see an improvement in them. And my first discovery or my first approach with yoga was in the year 2010, but I never took really like notice of it. Like it was something that I had to do because I took acting and yoga was one of the subjects. So I passed and everything was like, okay, I got over it. Like, but I never thought that it would mean so much like right now. I mean, it would start a desire in me to finish my yoga training. I mean, to get to these people, to teach them, to show them that there is a spiritual path and that they can access it and be free whenever they want.
That's awesome. And so you said you've noted the changes in your students with
Yes.
people with addiction. And so what are some of the changes that you've seen in the yoga that they since they
Okay.
practice?
Okay, so the first thing that I noticed is in my elderly students, I noticed that whenever they take their pressure, it's lower, it's lower, and their concentration improves. They feel more capable. They feel able to do stuff with their bodies that they haven't been able to do that before. Because the thing is, with addictions, they sometimes have these damages. Their cells do not connect in the same way that they used to do. I mean, with neuroplasticity and all, now we know that yoga is able to reconnect and give life to those cells. But because of the addiction, sometimes these people have brain damage and cannot perform easy tasks as reading or writing or math. So what you see with yoga is that they feel more confident, they feel more able with their bodies, and they start to develop like peacefulness, easiness, and they start to feel better about themselves.
That's awesome. And what are some of the common yoga poses that you teach in those classes?
I teach vinyasa style, and I don't try to challenge them so much because I don't want to make them feel like they are not able. So what I typically do is that I start with warming up from the like because I studied in a school which is called YogaSoulMonkeys, and they are focused mainly on releasing the tension from the spine. So what I would normally do is like certain movements that will release the spine and align like your chakras or your main points, your main energy points. And from releasing the spine, we would turn to the warrior sequence, and cat and cow. Something very simple, but for them it can be really challenging because their bodies don't move the way that they intended to move. Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And how long are the sequences usually run for?
Like 1 hour, it takes 1 hour. Shavasana is essentially 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, we do meditation, which can be from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, depending on what I am focusing on doing.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let's talk about you for a little bit. So
Okay.
from your journey and your experience with yoga, uh what helped you with your health and everything, your mindset and everything?
Wow, that is a huge question because, as I studied acting before, there
Mhm.
was some very tough stages of my life, which I had to struggle with body weight issues. I had to struggle with self-image and feeling like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't able enough. I couldn't sing so well. And you have like all this competition inside of your head going on. And sometimes it could be a real struggle, like to get the part that you want. And there's a million girls out there who are prettier and stronger and can develop the vocals in such a lovely way, and maybe you don't feel able to do that. So yoga for me is like you can come to yoga with the body that you have and feel confident in it and feel loving in a positive way. The thing that you bring into the mat is yourself, and you have to work with that so that you can feel happy and feel like yourself again. You don't have to commit to any standards. You can work with what you are, and that is beautiful. That is some sort of liberation. You can reach for the stars from there, I believe.
Oh, that's amazing. I was gonna ask if I had changed anything in your acting career with yoga, so you kind of answered that question.
Yes, yes, it has in a very strong way. I mean, because of the arm balances and all of the balance that we have in yoga, I've noticed that whenever I have to face a crowd, I am more confident and I don't struggle because when you are presenting, you are doing a cuentacuentos, which is, for example, when you're telling a story for the kids or when you're doing something for the family and you have like a stage, a real stage, you're not online. And the thing that you will lose first is your balance, your equilibrium. It's the thing
Mhm.
that you will lose first. With yoga, I can notice that I'm not struggling so much. I have developed a better sense of my balance. Yeah.
Mhm.
And because of teaching these people, I have noticed too that I have confidence in myself. I have confidence in what I do, and I'm ready to tell the world that please give yourself a chance and try yoga. You will be happy.
That's
Yeah, that's it.
amazing. Okay, so besides the yoga, do you practice? What's your practice schedule like? Your
My
routine like?
day. Okay. I do at least 1 hour a day, but it
Mhm.
can vary because sometimes I do yin yoga when I'm feeling sore and my back hurts, and because of too much vinyasa, sometimes your wrist can hurt. So what I do is that I log in and search for yoga with Cassandra online, and she has some very good sequences for releasing the pain in your wrist. So I definitely recommend that. It's for free. You have to search for her on YouTube. And yeah, so I would in here we have a very tight schedule, so I'll do my chores too. I'll take care of my cat, and I do some studying. Right now I am studying with my teachers who are the school YogaSoulMonkeys. The leader Claudia has right now a program that empowers women. So right now, that's what I'm doing in the afternoon. I'm taking in the afternoon that class with her, which would be deserve woman who deserves. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like to teach you to become the woman that you can become. I mean, not to feel like you don't deserve the best things that are waiting in life for you. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And so it yoga helped you with your how you view yourself, your body image, and,
Yes.
and your self worth, and you're helping others to be able to
Yes.
count that in their business. That's great. Um,
Yes.
in terms of like your what so the physical practice kind of helped with and the meditation, so all go together and helped you with that. what are some of the advice that you would give for somebody who just starting out?
Who is starting with the practice of yoga as a whole, like
Mm,
with the meditation, or the practice like the physical practice?
just in terms of trying to feel more confident, trying to feel that they're worthy, or in terms of like feeling good in their own body.
Uh-huh. Yes, I understand. I would advise them not to push too hard because of the yamas and niyamas that say in yoga. The first one is ahimsa, which is not violence. So you don't have to treat your body with violence, and from that you can begin to have that ahimsa, not violence, in your life, in the way that you conduct yourself, in the way that you behave, that you treat others. You have to show some love for yourself, for your practice. Do not push yourself to something that right now you cannot do, because with time you will be able to do it. And you have to respect your boundaries, and the body that you come with it with and the body that you come with to the mat every day is a different body. It's not the same body that you had yesterday. Some people will notice that flexibility issues or strength, it varies with time. So don't push yourself too hard. Enjoy it, and the practice will reward you, and you will feel peaceful, calm, and like you're in charge. Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
would say.
Okay, awesome. Great advice. Thank you. As for you mentioned niyamas and some terms. So, what
Yeah.
books do you recommend for like what are some of your favorite yoga books?
Wow, that's a huge question. I mean, for the people who are already into yoga and are teachers, I would recommend Yoga Anatomy from Leslie Kaminoff.
Mm.
It's amazing. It has some very good illustrations, and it's beautiful. You can tell which muscles of the body are working in every single pose, and there's so much work that went into it, and you can see it. It's beautiful, beautiful. I really recommend it. And for people who are just beginning into this, I mean, I would say I'm not I'm not so much into reading, but into listening. So I would recommend the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which you can listen to online and for free. And they have it has some very beautiful teachings, and the autobiography too. It's a gorgeous book, and I would say just take it easy. Not everyone can be enlightened from one day to the other, but this path is here for you, and do not be discouraged because of the things that you see online. You're not going to be able to do it like right away, but do not be discouraged and continue, keep on studying. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Mhm. Awesome. And I know I'm jumping here a little bit, but now I'm thinking back with your the students with addiction, and so you mentioned how it helped them with dealing with addiction. What made you choose to work with them?
Wow, it was sort of a happy accident, because I was volunteering in a library, in a how do you say it when something is from, like, I'm sorry for my language struggles. How do you say when something is not private? It was a community library, and I was a volunteer there. Yeah. And some guy just said, hey, we're working with Senda, which is the place that I'm working right now with. And we are developing this sort of workshops so that they can come to the library and do some macrame, which is like crochet. And I was like, no, I'm not doing any crochet. I don't know how to do it, and I will do some acting instead.
Mm.
So yeah, I started empowering those women, like, because I knew that I couldn't do a macrame or crochet at the time, and I thought acting was a more powerful tool in order to make them empower themselves and feel that, like, you don't have to be in the way that you were thought. I'm not sure I'm explaining myself, but you are like this being, this infinite being. You don't have to be all the time like you are supposed to be. You can be free and you can heal yourself. In that way, I planned a playful class, and we had lots of fun. They were frightened at first, but they said, okay, we like your work. We would like you to continue to work with us. And from that point on, I started working, and then yoga came as some sort of warming up before the class, the actual class. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when yoga started to take more like a prominent place, and I started noticing, oh my God, like what I'm doing is like yoga and acting in same slots of time. So maybe I should certify myself. I should get a degree because I feel like I'm not like, if I don't have my degree in this, I feel like it would be irresponsible of me. So yeah, that's my
Mm-hmm.
story.
Okay, that's awesome. And it seems like it works out. Like you like what you do with the people, and I can tell. That's awesome. Uh, where you're at, do you guys have like Yoga Alliance too?
Yes, yes. My school, YogaSoulMonkeys, is certified by Yoga Alliance. Yes,
Hmm.
and I did some research, to know what Yoga Alliance is, and yeah. So it's basically like a standard for people. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, so that everything works out in an organized way. That's what the way I see it, at least.
That's good. I mean, I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are talking about how, there's really, really no, they're really not like in agreement with what the Yoga Alliance and everything is. A lot of teachers are like backing out of it and not wanting to continue their membership anymore. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm not really informed about that, but the thing is, there should be like a standard. I'm not sure if it should be Yoga Alliance, but
Mhm.
there should be a standard because we're working with people, and what if someone has an injury, or what if someone, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a necessary evil, some sort of necessary evil.
Yeah, yeah. So it's basically like at least have a baseline of what
Yeah,
teachers know and how to teach so that it's for safety.
yeah.
And of course, have insurance to cover just in case of anything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because the thing is, you're working with your body, and your body is like your main instrument, your main tool. So, yeah, what if you get injured yourself and you cannot do any more classes? And how will you survive? How will you pay your bills? So, yeah, I think we
Mhm.
should have a starting point. I don't know if Yoga Alliance is the name that we're looking for, but yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So for people with addiction, vinyasa you do with them. And
Yes.
you do some meditation, like some breathing exercises, like about an hour
Yes.
long class. And uh do you like I mean, how frequent are the classes, and do you tell them to also practice at home, or do besides the yoga, what else do you recommend them do in terms of
Uh-huh.
like maybe diet or sleep or anything else that you add into the mix of things?
Of the therapy, yeah.
Mm.
I work with, the thing is, with Senda, I work with people who are very, it's a team of people.
Mm.
So, they're the things that they eat, mm, I cannot control very much because they already have a diet, and it comes from the hospital. They are
Mm.
in the hospital, inside the hospital, and for the thing that, I'm sorry, I'm having language struggles. These people want to recover, and they want to get better so that they can be a part of society again. So there's a person specifically for that. What I try to convey through my classes is that the main thing that I would try to say to them is that they're not their addiction.
Mhm.
They are not their addiction, and I would repeat that all, all over again. And I would say, I am so honored and blessed to work with these people, because I say to them, you have already done the most difficult work, the most difficult decision, which is to say, okay, I have an addiction, I have a problem. That is the main thing that you have to, the first step that you have to take, and from that on, you already hit rock bottom. So the only way from there is up.
Mm.
I would try to say to them that they keep a journal, so that they have the clarity to say, okay, in here I was feeling anger, in here I was feeling pain, and then from a very like calm down point of view, review those images, those things that they wrote, so that they can say, is this me, or is this just the emotion? Because as in Buddhist meditation, you have to detach yourself from the feelings. I mean, I'm not at that point, at that level, but I try to say to them that the feelings do not define them. The past experiences do not define them. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't aim for something better and bigger in their life. And the thing is, they carry on so much weight because of the stories that they have, the abuse and the whole pain that they have been put through. So I say to them, that they have already taken the most difficult step towards recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true. That's awesome. Okay, great. So do you how do you have a website where people can find you?
No, just Instagram for now.
Okay.
Francisca dot Hoces, Hocas. I don't know, I'm not sure if I spelled it right, but yeah, in my Instagram I constantly share this as this challenge, this gratitude challenge that I'm doing right now, and I hope everyone to join. Is 111 days of gratitude. It's not 108, because that's a secret number and it was already taken. So we did a 111 days, which is an angelic number. So yeah, I
Hmm.
invite everyone to join.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll definitely check it out. And so what give would you provide one more advice or teachings that you've learned over the years that have really like resonate with you and that you think is very important to share?
One last thing. Wow. Just remain as a student. And I would say this to people who are already into yoga. And in here, the place where I live, it's full of new age people, and sometimes it's hard to commit to a practice. And you get to a point when you think, there's not there's no more learning for me. I already got to this point. Well, the thing is, it's not true. You can always aim for humble to reach like where in a to reach for a point where you are more one with yourself and with the universe. And that is what I try to do. Me? Sorry, I lost you.
Yeah, you got cut off. You started with one. Hello?
Pan?
Yeah, you froze
Hey.
again. Yeah, hello?
Ah,
Yeah, I
okay.
can hear you.
Hello. Okay.
Okay, can you
The
back
thing
up?
is,
Can you start over again about the being one with another? Like, can you start off
yeah, yeah,
back?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean, there's always more unity that can be reached. There's always more unity that can be pursued, more unity with oneself and with the divinity. So do not think that you have gotten to the end. Just remain humble and study and be aim to be a better every time. Just not just not with the do not fall in the ego trap, like you have to be the best, you have to be number one. No, but to challenge yourself in a healthy way so that you won't feel like stuck. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. The great advice. All right. Oh, you have a cat. So cute.
Oh yeah, he's there. He's
Oh,
there. It's
yeah.
his bed.
That's cute.
He lets me sleep there.
Oh. All right. Thank you so much. That was a great interview, and I'll share your link in the
Thank
description.
you.
Okay, and thank you.
Thank you so much.